Hey there, Smite fans. Welcome to Smite Pro League North America. I'm extremely loud, but now I've been tuned down a little bit. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is hi-rez Bart. That is Brandon Hanson by Pants Nance.
This is apparently the Halloween edition, as I was very spooked.
I am spooky and ghoulish today. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a couple of, interesting games, we'll say, out of the North American scene. The top two seeds going against the bottom two seeds today.
Interesting fact here. Unless Cog-Red loses every single game this week, this game effectively has no effect on the placings whatsoever.
That's true. That is true. Cog-Red would have to lose this in all subsequent games.
But Fat Chunks need to use this as a learning experience. Before I came in, I actually saw Cyclone Spin in Ranked. I said, why aren't you scrimming right now? You should be practicing. He said, my team is muted and deafened. I don't think they're taking the Challenger Cup team seriously.
His team is muted and deafened?
They were muted and deafened. They were just not ready to scrim or practice before the matchup. I think this is going to be domination. And Chunks have, going in, they're definitely stronger than Thirst, in my opinion.
Okay.
The standings reflect that. They have 4 more wins.
Yep, they dominated Thirst as well.
But when they come against the Rambozos or 5 Angry Men or Vicious and Delicious, if they don't have that hunger that they had in the play-ins, they're going to get bodied.
They certainly, you can bet and hang your hat on the fact that the North American Challenger Cup teams and the European Challenger Cup teams will be hungry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they just fought for 6 weeks and will actually finish up 6 weeks of trying to get back to the place they thought they deserved to be to begin with.
That's right.
And let me tell you, they want this more than anybody.
They, I want some things as well, Brandon, and, there's an Arachne and a Hades up on the board for Fat Chunks, and
Is Serket not banned?
I would like that.
Where's Serket? Did they not ban Thor?
They're going to take him.
Did Aurora ban his own Fenrir?
It looks like they didn't want to lose the Cognitive Red's vicious Fenrir play, but they will give up Thor to Gars.
And Radabouche.
So, indeed, sir. But Vulcan going to be locked in here on top of the Ra and Thor for Cognitive Red, so drafting together a pretty square team.
DVO's probably going to be taking Vulcan.
You would think, yeah. Or Ra going to the solo lane, Vulcan mid, or vice versa. Going to be your likely scenario here. Over on the side of the Chunks, they're going to pick an Athena, leaving a Serket quite...
And Hades...
they took Hades that first picking round, so they're going to run a
I didn't
very
even notice that.
Powerful front line.
So Hades solo, Arachne jungle, Athena mid. Athena support. Geb's banned out. Nasha just got banned. Again, Fat Chunks, you're the one that plays that character. Do they not know how the bans work? Are they trying to pick?
They think they picked that? I'm not sure. No. I think the Chunks are having
mess.
a little bit of fun. They're going to give the fans a run for their money here as well. It looks like they are resigning their fate that they're going to have a hard time going against Cognitive Red, or it's just normal Chunk shenanigans. Hard to tell.
Okay, Bakasura are going to be picked up here. More than likely
So Baka going to be your solo, putting Hades mid? Hades mid can work. He has pretty good control of the mid camps.
He can teleport over the walls, which is huge. Huge amount of kill potential, especially against someone like Ra. Vulcan can't get out of the ultimate. Maybe there's some likeliness to this. Devios looks like going to be locking it. Wait, Hercules and Ymir. Okay, so they're going to have to switch the Hercules to a Hunter or something similar.
Right, now they need range damage here. But they've locked in Hercules.
Vulcan ADC. It's Snoopy. It's Vulcan ADC.
So Snoopy's going to be taking Vulcan into the duo lane.
It's Vulcan ADC.
With Ymir.
Hey, it's Apollo. So, okay.
Athena,
stuff.
Apollo. Bakasura jungle, Hades mid, Arachne solo?
Yeah.
Or Bakasura solo, Arachne jungle is probably going to be what
Either way is fine. With Heavy Hammer being nerfed, I think either one will work.
It could be Hades Hunter. He is ranged.
So the switching phase is going on, and Samshrew has Arachne, and Aurora has Hades, and Cyclone Spin has Apollo.
Really? Okay, so we are going to be seeing what appears to be a Apollo.
Did they switch roles? Did they bring Hades to Guardian?
Hades duo lane with Unique in the jungle. Whirlwind with a Vampiric Shroud on Athena?
Wait.
That's going to be going mid lane.
Wait.
With a Vamp Shroud. It's got to be.
Bakasura has the Bumbas.
Yeah, Bakasura is jungling here, homie. That leaves Arachne for the solo lane. Okay, so here we go. It's going to be Cyclone Spin and Aurora in the dual lane as Apollo and Hades. Unique in the jungle as Bakasura. Samshrew in the solo lane as Arachne, and Athena's going to be mid lane. God help us all.
Well, we're assuming that Cyclone Spin is going to be taking this Hunter. We're assuming that, Bart.
You're right. Based on his Death's Toll Dev Gloves opening, you would assume he's going to the
He's aiming
duo,
towards solo.
but he is trending solo. So this is going to be an Arachne Hades lane.
An Arachne has started off with Death's Toll
And Hog.
and some pots and Hand of the Gods. That seems like a solo build. But Aurora does not have Hand of the Gods. Have I been asleep for a very long time?
Oh, wow. Well, this is going to be a fun one, if nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. About a minute away from starting up this game. Left side of your screen is going to be Cog Red. Right side, the Fat Chunks assemble. And they have drafted a very unconventional team. But
Does
to be
Aurora
fair,
have Diamond Haze?
Red has as well. Does Aurora not have Diamond in every character that no one plays?
Snoopy has gone into Vulcan ADC, which, while maybe a little bit awkward, is still something that works.
He's got a lot of range damage.
He has range damage. He has great clear potential. He can hold his own. Very damaging ult. Allows for good rotations. Think of him. He's basically magical Rama.
The only thing he's missing is his. Well, he's not quite as mana efficient as Rom.
Sure.
And he also doesn't have really any kind of escape potential.
My issue here is that I like Vulcan in the mid lane because he gets sent back a lot. And mid lane, the walk is very short.
Yeah.
Long lane is quite aptly named in this regard. It is very long trip back. Sometimes you're going to want to make sure you grab that ring just to save Frodo the trip.
Well, we're also got a Hercules solo
Lord
lane
of the
here
Rings reference.
that has a heavy hammer
Okay.
with no hog here.
All right. I hope he pays meditation. I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna convert him
I sincerely hope he does not build
to
meditation.
the. You don't understand, Bart. It's fantastic.
What I don't understand is how Athena is going to fare against a Ra in the mid lane. This seems like it's a 10-0 Ra win.
I don't understand. Oh, Hand of the Gods will help.
It'll
But
help.
She used it pretty early to get level 2 and then didn't abuse the fact that she's level 2. She could have pulled Boosh right into some creeps doing some damage. Instead, takes about a quarter of her life bar. Takes away some gold, sure, but she's going to have to pay for that eventually.
Well, you got to be maybe most worried here about the melee kind of damage dealer in the duo lane. It could just be blown up, right? A single freeze from Yannick, and here you kind of see it going into fruition. As Aurora comes forward, he gets frozen out, and then Snoopy just brings the damage. And even though it's a much maligned part of Vulcan's kit, his passive, where his next in-hand slows after an in-hand, or sorry, after a ability cast,
Right.
Is going to be pretty damn good against the melee in the lane.
Yeah, especially Arachne, who does not have an escape.
Right, and doesn't have any way to close distance effectively either, so he's going to have a pretty good time here. Aurora's in some trouble. He's going to eat the shards as well.
She
But
got death from below, so
Death from below is going to get him out of there. Easy peasy. Aurora surviving the lane for the moment at least, but has been harassed out quite effectively. Look at that.
Dinner time. All kinds of meatballs getting chucked the way of Hades. He's not going to be able to sustain for too much longer. He keeps taking her. Why does he have a Talon Trinket?
Because he's going to be rushing into a Bancroft's Talon. Through which, well, it's kind of like they're going to be, it's a really weird kind of setup, right? It's like, almost like you should have just
Arachne?
run Apollo Arachne in the solo lane and let Hades just like deal with the
that
long
seems
lane.
more likely, but instead they put this Hunter in, and they're just going to get harassed out repeatedly. With that Bancroft, though, I mean, they could put damage out and quickly.
And a lot of sustain from him as well, but you can see they already forced him back even though he built into that early lifesteal. So where's the momentum going to come from, I guess is the question.
Bakasura, perhaps. I mean, if Unique gets some pretty sick rotations, there could be potential there, but honestly, it's going to be
Samshu's in
hard.
a lot of trouble here. There's a turret as well if he tries to leave. There's the backfire coming through. Turret does get exploded.
Uh-oh.
And a lot of damage coming out of Snoopy, but the meatball coming up that's going to disrupt the in-hand chain. Rotating over is Unique, but not trying to re-engage his Cog Red. Looks like they spotted this out well enough. Yannick moving forward a bit, but I think he spotted out Unique, and with no ultimate available on Bakasura, there's not much he's going to do in terms of gank potential. And really, you don't look at Bakasura as a tremendously strong ganker out of the jungle. More of a just flash farmer that kind of controls mid-game, especially with his split push potential with the minions. So
that, and I think one of the most underrated thing about Baka, especially as a jungler, is getting that regurgitate up to like 5 or 6 minions and then throwing those bad boys at the Gold Fury.
Yeah, a lot of pressure early on as well. And generally we'll see that paired with something like an Amir as a support, right? Shards of Ice's ultimate does so much damage to the Gold Fury, and you compare that to the Bakasura, you can take it really early on, about level 5.
Do you know that we've been testing the Bakasura minion damage, and they actually wind up doing more damage than cats?
Yeah, I believe it.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, they do a lot of damage, and I believe they inherit his cone, right?
I don't know about the cone. I think they might. I don't know. 4-man grouping over here. Samshrew super late, not going to get any part of that. Aurora will proc into 5 there, as a 2-man group on the right side will figure that out. Gars, something we haven't talked about too much. We did kind of highlight it in the beginning, but Gars,
he's coming.
Yeah, he's level 6 right now.
He's the Macho Man Randy Savage.
I really like that he's been patient, though. I mean, Arachne, Bakasura, there's a lot of potential for death there. So he's being patient. He's going to wait out that Baka damage, it seems, unless they find a pretty gnarly pick. Yeah, I think we're going to wait until level 13 before we really start seeing Gars come
It's like, well, why bother, right? They're in no danger of losing any of these lanes.
Right, exactly. Hercules will never be pushed out by an Apollo. That is an atrocious matchup. Athena, I don't know what year he thinks this is, trying to fight Ra in a mage fight, but that's not going to happen either. And then Vulcan versus Arachne, like, that's, again, not going to happen.
Oh, Brandon.
What happened? What happened?
Take a look next to Divios' name on the left side of your screen there, just outside of the edge of where the play space is. You will see...
That is my man!
There is a hoodie.
He was watching my game yesterday when I did it. That is my man.
It looks like a sad woman wearing a hoodie.
She's not sad, trust me.
She's smiling underneath the cowl.
She's protecting her kappa. Have you ever seen when she turns around? There's a kappa face.
Oh no!
Make sure to sub to my
I mean, look at Divios is clearing waves with his ultimate.
Look, he's out of mana. Eh?
But I mean, let's actually talk about how Divios is actually kind of embracing that as his playstyle, right? He's bought meditation, and if you watch, he's actually throwing the ultimate on cooldown.
Yeah,
to
clear the
waves.
wave.
Makes sense?
Why not?
Oh, there's a steal at the blue. There's a rotation from the chunks, but they're not able to aggress into this. Free blue going the way of, well, the Cog boys, and Aurora channels his ultimate. Yannick is perfectly happy to do so as well. Gars is moving in. They've stunned out Aurora. They're going to try to focus him down in this fight, and they will take it out with the first blood. In comes the Earthshaker as well. Unique going to try to put out a spread damage, but just gets exploded, and Gars still alive, kiting out. The dot will be enough from Samshrew, but not before the double kill goes to the credit of Thor. Samshrew's going to try to get more out of this. Chase down Yannick. He needs this kill badly, but Bush going to come through with the slow and the first damage. Kiting away now Zamir, but not enough. Double kill coming out for the Spider, but Samshrew is dead to rights here. There's just too much slow coming out between the Vulcan and the Ram. He's forced to go back into the wave. He's not going to get HP off those minions, and down he will go indeed, but not before putting out a chunk. No,
that
getting
venomous
HP.
bite keeping him alive. Good shot from Bush, though, going to kind of deter Heroin at least. Oh, pull him back in. Oh, I thought that was going to be a turnaround. Chunks managed to get out. Samshrew,
pretty impressive.
Samshrew uses the Hand of the Gods to clear the wave. In the backside, you see Heroin use the Hand of the Gods to clear the wave, ensuring there's no more minion damage. Baits out long enough to get Venomous Bite back online. You see the med cap is in the chat. Love it.
Oh my. What a bizarre treat that we are experiencing here today. I
told you it was the Halloween cast today.
But even amid all of that, Gars finds a double kill.
Yeah, that's just Gars. Of course, he does die, but you never want to see that Thor grab 2 kills, man. That's a rough life, and they lost the support there, sure, but they also picked up Aurora for that, trading that out, and really, Aurora needs more gold than anybody right now as he goes into Talent Trinket.
Just watch Divios throw boulders at waves over and over and over.
That Derpulese throws like some weird metal-bending nonsense.
Yeah.
Love it.
Metal bending?
Yeah, I've been watching Korra. You call
right. I forgot about that. Pseudo-Japanese thing.
Season 4 is really good.
Is it?
All right.
Yeah, okay.
It's the left side. Snoopy's by himself. Unique's strangely, or rather uniquely over here.
Hey.
There's not really much for him to farm. The camps are all gone, and yes, he will back. In-hand gold right now only has about 600, so don't expect much.
So Apollo has his dev gloves done, boots 2. The Hercules he's fighting into has heavy hammer boots 2 as well. Also with a sprint 2 online.
God, I love that build.
And he is just not safe. Even with those dev gloves. If he gets a couple of in-hand slows coming out from that Hercules, he can get bursted pretty quick.
Now, keep in mind, as Meditation gets finished, it's going to give him 30% of his maximum health back. He has built into Heavy Hammer, giving him an extra 200 health, so he could get about an extra 60 health just from that item in a fight.
You might see a Rune Forge coming out or something on top of this, but Gars is going to get his spin to win. Silenced out by Hades. Probably the best part of Hades' kit. We'll get into that in a moment as Aurora does go down. Heroin trying to chase away from Gars, but there's an orange buff on the back of Gars, and their mid laner Heroin will go down. Athena taking a spill. 2 kills for Cog Red.
They'll lose the tier 1 on the right side, but they now have pure contention for Gold Fury. The only saving grace here is that Heroin does have his ult up, and he's up in, nope, 13 seconds. This thing is done.
Yeah, Samshrew, well, he's in an awkward position as well, isn't he? Used all of his abilities, only his ultimate off cooldown. He's going to get a kill onto Garzen.
Dude, let me tell you.
This is the most impressive Arachne play we've seen in the Pro League.
Arachne is not that good of a character, but there's no character in this game you could just allow to use their entire kit on you and think you're going to live through
Double kill for Samshrew yet again in that fight.
He picks up 2 and actually deters the Gold Fury. In a rare moment of clarity, it seems that Samshrew is kind of carrying the
Is this going to work?
Game. I hope not.
Can you imagine ranked for the next year if this
No,
works?
that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's bad enough.
Okay, signature chunks lane assignment swap. They're going to put Cyclone Spin into the now
He's
solo
level
lane
11.
at level 12. I love this strategy they run,
me
and I
too.
think that this will become actually standard at some point in the future, where you will see either the Hunter move out of that duo lane when the 1v1 matchup becomes tough. Think about a Apollo versus a Rom,
Okay.
right?
Oh, wait. I don't think they're going to fully switch. I think Cyclone was just holding it down for a little bit. But I would have respected the
Come on,
full
boys.
switch here. Sending Arachne against Devios, I mean, he can heal himself through the
He'll
damage.
be fine. You got
Stay
11-12
safe.
versus a level 10 matchup in the now solo lane over on the left side of the map.
I don't know what Aurora's doing, going a little crazy there, using all his mana.
Well, we won't be seeing that today, but what we will be seeing is Hades up against Thor, which, well, back in the day, this was a very, very potent counter. Still has all of those same qualities. Nothing actually changed about that, just that Hades has fallen out of favor in a big way, even though he is, well, one of the gods that deals the most damage, dies the least, and wins the most.
Really?
For the, for Smite as a whole, Hades is one of the most potent gods
We should nerf
out
him.
of the list.
We should nerf him.
Did that once already.
We
It was
should
very
do it.
awkward.
It was.
But Gars on Thor, one big piece of Thor is that Berserker Barrage is very susceptible to silences, and
Right.
Hades has probably the second best one in the game behind Isis.
I was going to say Mr. Chalk. Pretty.
That's an ultimate, though.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. So, right side, Devios returns to lane to fight off against Cyclone Spin. Devios level 12 right here. Will he get into 13? No. Actually, Cyclone Spin getting the better overall thanks to that kill. In fact, experience per minute has almost 100 over Devios, and Devios is in second place, putting Cyclone way ahead of the curve.
Right side
Uh-oh.
lane. There's the
Ooh,
heat ult
that's-
coming in as well on top of
that was
Devios.
so pretty.
He's taking a lot of damage, but Thor is here, and Devios is going to start healing up. He gets taunted back in. The shield wall is enough to pick up the kill, and now it's Gars in a bit of trouble. There's a weakening curse out onto Herwin as well. Is that a weakening yet? No, it's just a creeping curse, but he's able to take a kill onto Gars as well. I mean, it's so hard to judge what this line is going to do to you because you just never see it.
Aurora's in the mid lane fighting and pushing against Boosh.
Which is a matchup that actually is winnable for Hades.
Oh, absolutely. He clears instantaneously.
And he's nasty versus Raw. Left side, Snoopy in a bit of trouble to the Bakasero minions as the Death Machines charge forward, but they're going to get cleaned up by Backfire as well. And, well, chunks are rotating all over the map, and they're pressuring a tier 2 here at the 11-minute mark. They take an extremely early tower.
They got this.
And, yeah, this is unstoppable here. That Apollo pass is going to rip through it. Boosh forced to take the safe route to behind the tower to force him back a bit here, but Chunks picking up tier 2 on the right side of the map 11 minutes into the game. This is putting them at a pretty respectable 3,000 experience lead. They've only got about 2,000 gold on it so far, but it's looking pretty good. Fatalis is done for Bakasura. You have Damage Hades online. They're running no support here, basically. They're going to probably transition Athena into a frontliner.
I was going to say maybe Samshrew will start building into some kind of damage.
Ooh,
Snoopy's
Bruiser.
taking so much. Vulcan ult going to be used there. Gars rotates over Infinite Web. Will it be used? Does he not have it? No, Samshrew did not have his ultimate there. Will get picked off from a great rotation coming out from Gars.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well,
This is,
Tivios is going to try to push back out the right side lane here, but let's hold that thought as Thor is aggressing onto Unique. Unique going to be able to make it back into his tower range. It looks like Berserker Barrage coming out doing a lot of damage. Stun. Mjolnir's, the leap will avoid the backside of that hit, but here comes a roar. He should know Mjolnir's 2 minutes down, but not electing to go in there, even with his ultimate available. Not going to go in, and interestingly enough here, look at Aurora's build as well. It's a 3-1-5-2, meaning that he is leveling up Death from below, which is, generally speaking, not what you would ever see out of a support.
Right. Well, I mean, that's generally not speaking what you would even put on a mage.
They're going in on Hercules again on the right side here. It's been another Athena ultimate, Brandon, but he's actually going to scoot out of there A-okay. So that second Athena ultimate not finding as much. But tell me more about the Hades kind of build priority.
So when you level Death from below and you build into things like Bancrofts, you will actually kill the wave with your 1, which reduces your ability to heal using Devour Souls. This is strange to me considering he looks like he's going just for crazy amounts of burst damage. They're going for the lock there. Beautiful taunt. Gar's just barely going to get out of there. Ionic taking not much damage, but Ionic burning right through it. Oh, that wall, though. Ionic with a big play.
That Devour Souls is a lot of damage to Ionic.
Yeah, oh, Cyclone Spin not quite ready to let this one go. Gold Fury kind of exposed here with the Onyx sent back. Devio's taking a lot of damage. No amount of healing is going to save him from that one. That was a 5-man convergence right there coming out as the Fat Chunks assembled.
But they should have gone for Fire, or Gold Fury, I'm sorry.
They could still do it. I don't understand what they're doing.
Is Bakasura Regurgitate up as well? It is. This should be free for them.
And they're not doing it. They're going to go to Speed Buff.
Well, speed buffs are important. I mean, it definitely helps Bakasura out quite a bit to get that speed buff up and running as often as possible. But Well, we're going to be seeing...
That
Is
was
this
rough.
going to be a Soul Reaver rush on Athena?
I can't imagine he's going Book of Thoth.
I mean, she doesn't farm.
It wouldn't make any sense. Not only does she not farm, but her scaling isn't really good enough to warrant it. That amount of mana. She doesn't run out of mana. She's not an intensive character like that. With Soul Reaver, though, I mean, hitting someone with like a reach for 15% of their health, like, that'd be pretty rough.
Let's talk about Divios, Hercules Meditation.
I love Herc.
Why would you buy that item?
Well, Herc has two major flaws. The first of which is that unless he's going to use his driving strike as an escape, he's susceptible to ganks, has to try to save it, and is very, I think, more susceptible to counter initiations, can get caught out very easily.
Yeah, likes to overextend.
Right, and the second of which is he runs out of mana very, very, very quickly. He's probably the most mana-intensive character in the game. Only a few spellcasts at the end of the game will really him, and with how much he needs to be able to heal to stay on the front line, it hurts. Meditation keeps him in the game for longer. Left side, though, look at the damage coming out. Fat Chunks, another great assembly as they go through, but Boosh is back over. Herwin, one shot, actually almost getting out of there, picks up, so they're going to find a 1-for-1.
They just chased down Cog Red there, picking up Ionic and Snoopy. The dual lane goes down, and well, that's definitely the weakness of the dual lane the Cog Red has drafted here. No escapes from either of them, but going back to the Hercules Meditation pieces, well, I'm looking
And
at
here
it
comes Runeforge.
From the example of you buy Meditation because he's very mana dependent.
Right. Plus an extra heal.
And when you run out of mana, you're forced to go back to the base, and you lose lane control.
Well, it's not always about the lane control. It could just be endgame where he's just trying to make you push down a Phoenix. You should also consider the fact that his heal works by giving him back about 220 health at max rank, and then will heal up over 9 seconds. But if he's too low to get that heal off, he could burst himself back up for 30% from almost 0, and then that heal will bring him back up to full, making him a nightmare.
But let's talk wasted opportunities here. You buy Meditation, and you lose both your towers in the first 10 minutes.
Sure, I mean, I think
But
that
you
was,
buy that item for lane sustain.
I don't think that was about the sustainability so much as he's just been getting rushed down in this lane to the point where no amount of sustain or no active would have helped him through this. The rotations coming out from Chunks, they just seem like they're on fire right now.
My goodness.
Oh, Ultimate again coming out, immediately clearing that wave out. He's getting kind of controlled, level 15 right now, comparatively to Cyclone Spin at level 17. And then Executioner starting to do work, even through the Runeforge Hammer. But the Meditation also works with items with high health, again, giving you back a percentage of your health. So 350 coming out from Runeforge, 200 coming out from Heavy Hammer. Now a Talisman online. More than likely, this should be a Bulwark. It gives the most amount of health, the most amount of use, and if the actual sustainability from Stone of Gaia is not as effective considering he has opted into med.
Well, it's looking like it's going to be the Shifter Shield standard build coming out of the Thor there as he picks up his round shield.
Like that.
Warlock Sash completed now for Ra as well, so he'll start tanking up. So getting quite tanky is Cog Red, and on the other side, the Chunks have adopted a different strategy here, building a lot more into damage. Hades starting to itemize a bit into protections, but it's kind of awkward.
Oh, Samshrew going real deep here.
Samshrew all the way
Might
in.
be out of position. Athena can keep him alive. No, Ionic will find the kill.
I mean, Araki's all right.
You need to show with that.
And Earthshaker actually hits, doing a lot of damage there from Snoopy. The wall from Amir. You know, you're kind of starting to see a little bit of, I think, why they drafted that lineup. That wall sets up the Earthshaker really well, even better than CC does. Athena, Whirlwind is here. Whirlwind is going to go in, but not going to be in time, and now he's missed his taunt on a grouped up Cog Red, and that will always spell your demise. Right side lane, taking this guy as a Cyclone Spin, where he's looking to bail out Unique. It's going to be successful, at least for the moment. Gar's porting forward. Doesn't have Mjolnir's Attunement again, but does have Berserker Barrage.
Oh, he did. He was
stuck.
locked there.
Beautiful play. Gar's should have his spells coming back online shortly. Doesn't matter. There's Mjolnir's Attunement using the beads to get the cooldown back. Now they pile in onto Cyclone Spin. Berserker Barrage back online. Anvil of Dawn still available as well for the Thor. Dead to rights. Boosh picking up that kill. Cyclone Spin.
Is this going to be fire?
I think they have to take Tower Gold at this point because they've fallen behind so much. Look at Divios.
No, you thought they fell behind. They're 3K ahead.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's just what they do. I mean, Cog Red, you cannot let them take a breath of air. I mean, you must keep them underwater the entire game or they will come back with a vengeance.
Well, they do take the mid tower. Divios cuts the creeps on the right side. It's going to give him some better lane control when he goes back to take up his blue. Obviously, Vulcan on the left side will not be clearing exceptionally fast against the Hades and also won't have a lot of push potential. His in-hands, not much to write home about. Mid lane.
Ooh, trouble for Ionic. He'll have a freeze here. The slows aren't going to... Does he have sprint? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he has sprint. Ymir has sprint. I think they're just trying to mess with us. I think all 10 of them have just colluded to the point
Confederacy
where,
against us?
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Scum. Whirlwind is going to actually taunt out Snoopy. Snoopy's going to take a reasonable amount of damage from this. They're going to use an ultimate from the Vulcan. From the Hades as well. Backfire gets him out of the ultimate, but Death from Below will clean that. Boosh is going to rotate over. Slow coming out. Silence before he gets much out, but the slow is still active. Now the burst damage from Aurora, and he has Death from Below on cooldown still. It'll be back up in 1 second. He's going to try to make it back out. No, he's going to re-engage 3 seconds. For Devour Souls. Doesn't even need it. Kill comes out onto Gars. Boosh now going to be in a bit of trouble. Can they come back in? Cyclone Spin going to take to the air. 6 more seconds from Death from Below for Aurora. Crashing in, looking for the knock-up has got to be Cyclone Spin. He actually goes on the Ionic, trying to make room for Aurora. Death from Below is here. He will have the silence. He will have the... Oh, Devour Souls just wasn't there. A little bit too speedy as that Raw, but that silence of the Devour Souls on that whole minion wave likely would have resulted in a kill. But all of this was just to buy time for Sam Shrew or Nah to pick up the Fire Giant here. They're going in, but here comes Ionic. Doesn't matter. Whirlwind takes it. Chunks find the Fire Giant on the back of a very strange and long engagement around the Gold Fury. They have the Spider, and they go on in.
I can hear the Cog Red comms in my head just going, they got the Fire Giant. With Hades support that built Bancroft's Talon. And I like the what I like to call the MOBA build coming out from Aurora here. Level 2 Talon Trinket, level 2 Wardstone, finish the Sovereignty after, giving him, a small amount of aura, giving him the Sovereignty aura as well, damage from Shoes of the Magi. Going across the way, normal build coming out from Ionic, and Ionic has a significant amount more gold, but he hasn't been able to equate it.
Well, he's got an Adventurer's Blade now, and that's... I'm sorry, no, he has the Winged Blade finish, so...
I like Winged Blade.
Giving him basically all the things that Amir wants. Health, CDR, attack speed, movement speed, and immunity to slows.
Oh, actually, and speaking of MOBA builds, we see a Silver Talisman coming out. It looks like he's going to stop it there for just some protection, some extra health, and now the Heavy Mace is going to come forth. More than likely here going to be Joven's.
Well, Gars continues to poke away. Left side Chunks continue to pressure. There's a 4-man rotation over here with their Fire Giant buff. No big surprise in that. Athena continues to roam, looking for the ultimate initiation while pressuring other lanes, but not getting much done in the meantime. Warding up a bit. Look at Chunks. They're giving a lot of credit to Cog Red. Not going to push in 4v4 with Gars in the jungle with Fire Giant buff. Athena.
This is not mid-camp time.
Well, I think she's trying to pressure the rest of the map, but Bakasura is backing. Oh, yeah.
The Fire Giant buff will heal you.
They might not get anything out of this Fire Giant. I mean, at this rate, they're going to get nothing out of this, and they need to be careful for counter-initiation coming out from Gars.
The Chunks right now are just scattered, and I'm sure Cog Red's like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they should be pushing us. We will lose this. Devios is 18, but Snoopy's 17, but then, like, they don't really have a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of burst damage if they can control the Vulcan, and with how well right now that we're seeing Cyclone Spin do, it's kind of crazy to me. Though top damage still does belong to Vulcan. Snoopy's at 14,000. After that, Gars at 11k. And then Sam Shrew's third all the way down at 9,000. So it's going to be hard for them to still control. It's just they need to group up. They need to assemble, like their name implies, and go for it.
XP per minute. I mean, Apollo, Bakasura, and Ra being the top 3 there. Apollo and Bakasura obviously on the side of the Chunks, so they're farming the map well.
They're doing a good job there. Almost 100 ahead. It's actually closer to 80. We're seeing Cyclone Spin kind of shutting down Devios, which is not something that's extremely usual.
Devios also playing a god he's never played before in the Smite Pro League, buying Meditation. I can't imagine this is his best effort.
Oh, no, see, I disagree there. I think Hercules may be even his best god, despite the fact he doesn't play him too much in the Pro League. This is like one of his best gods. This is where Devios made his name.
That's true. This was his bread and butter. He kind of did, I guess, frontline the Ricing Hercules, right? Where he just farmed forever and ever and ever. That was always Devios' like, kind of when he was entering into the Pro League and the Pro scene, it was kind of like, all this guy really does is just farm.
Yeah, and
then he showed us Giannis.
Yeah, right? Oh my god, out of nowhere, those spirit guns. Herwin diving deep here is going to find 2 and force the beads out of Snoopy Aurora with an awkward ult, going to wind up dead for that one. No, jumps away, Vulcan ult will hit 2, but Herwin going to dive deep there, dropping it directly onto Boosh, but the Aegis will succeed, scattering away. Samshrew finds Ionic in the back line as Chunks continue to pressure this down.
The Hercules ultimate is out. They're healing up in the Raw beam. In the backside is Samshrew looking for the backstab, but they can't push the minions in. He's going to have a hard time making his way back in as well. And, well, the Chunks Fire Giant buff going to be running out here fairly soon. Oh, just off the mark. That would have picked up Unique, absolutely. Cyclone Spin going to get pushed up. He's going to mez as he falls, and that's going to be enough to force the disengage. Devios uses his meditation. Now forced back up. Heavenly Agility coming out. Samshrew finds a kill on Snoopy. Herwin picks up Boosh as well, and they're going to find a lot in the backside here. Unique clearing out the minions. They're going to push their own minions into the wave. Devios now slowed. Chain slowed by the spiders, forcing them back under tower. Big plays by Devios. Can he survive the burst? He cannot indeed. 4 members of Cog Red fall to the Chunks pressure. And, well, you got to think that Cog Red held out a long time there and probably should have just let that one go. and let the Fire Giant buff fall off and try to re-engage at tier 2.
Well, the Fire Giant buff has thus been rescinded. We're going to see him respawning in just a little bit. In fact, he's up in about 40 seconds. In my opinion, they take the tier 2, they back, and they get ready to fight for it. This one, though, is not going to be free. Cog Red knows what they're doing. They know their timers. This is going to be I think probably the first real team fight that we're going to see this game.
Gold Fury started up now by Aurora. He is pretty low HP, but we do know that Whirlwind is holding on to a Hog 3 as well. Gold Fury will drop and actually goes easy. Easy peasy.
Very quick.
Over to the Chunks. They pick it up.
They got the lead back.
Apollo level 20. Apollo getting some crit online. Lifesteal, Executioner.
3,000 gold in the pocket as well. You're going to see Chunks start to maybe peer away a little bit. At this point, though, it all comes down to the Fire Giant fight. We have seen, I think more games have been made or broken on the back of the Fire Giant. Can they find the initiate? Can they bait someone to move forward out of position? Can they find the pick? Can they sustain through the fight against the raw heals? There's so many factors that go into this, and this is where the chess really comes to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, or they can just have, Hades herp derp around the Gold Fury and fight 4 while they take it again. I mean, that seemed to be pretty good. They kind of quietly take the vision advantage and then make a play on the other side of the map and make it happen.
If Snoopy shows himself on the map, this is going to be real trouble. And he is in vision right there of the creeps. They're going to rush this down on the right side. Although Cyclone in an awkward spot. No, rotating over. They're going to start converging down. You see them kind of forcing him out. Snoopy's going to start to rotate. They got to find something quick.
Do they want to go in or nah? Aurora has picked up the shell for his Hades, his first active item. They're going to go in onto Ionic. They're going to try to burst down the tank so they can take this objective for free, silencing out as well. Here comes the ultimate from the Hades. Very, very strong, obviously, against the Amir. Amir fires off his ultimate before going down, but it's not enough to save his life. So now one less tank. However, there's a gem of isolation on the Raw here. This is going to be trouble. This may be where the game turns, because how are they going to escape the engagement from Boosh? Once he gets everyone in that slow, he's going to be able to chase him down with 2. And look at that Whirlwind. Look how much damage he takes on top of the slow. And Boosh is going to get a big snipe here. He's going to do a lot of damage.
He's going to try for it. I think they're going to disengage, and it looks like go for it. Unique should have thrown the Regurgitate down sooner. Too much damage. Gars throws it away instantaneously. Devios getting low, but we'll be able to heal back up. Watch that health just start to return. Beautiful driving strike right back into the turret. Destruction.
Down they go. 3 members of the teams have fallen. 2 on the side of the Chunks, 1 on the side of Cog Red. Amir will be coming back up in just a couple of seconds. They're going to go ahead and make their play for the Fire Giant now. Boosh going to be on the zone, throwing in the heals. Divios and Gars doing the majority of the damage. Snoopy letting his turret wail in as well, showing out 210 damage per shot. Getting low now. They're going to continue on in. Fire Giant about half HP. Actually getting quite low is Divios and Gars as well. You got to remember those Fire Giant boulders do actually reduce your healing. In comes Aurora, Death Room below. Fire Giant has reset. Now, I'm surprised Aurora didn't continue in there.
Whirlwind died.
The Athena died there, so he's forced to reset. It does stall out Cognitive's attempt at the Fire Giant now, but
that was perfect.
It's going to be, a really, really smart reprioritization of targets from Cognitive. Red, let's go on to the Athena, burst her down. Don't worry about the Hades or the damage reduction. He doesn't have the Hog anyway. All we got to do is kill the Athena. They do, and they secure the Fire Giant for themselves, and well, this one's gone topsy-turvy now. This is a Cognitive Red big-time power play.
Gold is even, experience normalized. It all comes down to the fact that one team has the Fire Giant buff, and that, of course, this time is going to be Cog Red. Now, going into this, it should be considered that Devios still has that meditation, plus he's going to also have the Fire Giant buff. There's no way that he won't be able to sustain for as long as they need, but on the right side, Gars could be in some trouble. Nice jump out. It looks like they're not going to be able to continue the pressure here. Can Cyclone Spin stop him? No.
Well, they have Fire Giant buff now. He won't be coming back up for 4.5 minutes, meaning they got another solid 3.5 minutes of Fire Giant buff here. Gold Fury coming up in 90 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, all things told, net worth looking pretty good in favor of the Chunks. They got Bakasur and Apollo way out ahead. They are still technically leading in the gold difference. However, it's by only about 500 gold. They're still ahead in experience as well, but Cognitive Red with a Fire Giant buff plus significantly stronger team fight-oriented team. Chunks very single target dependent. Can they force the fight with a Fire Giant here? That's what they got to be thinking. Let's make Chunks fight us. They definitely are going to try to dodge this next fight and give up a tower for it. But they got to force the fight here by aggressing into a tier 2, I feel like. And if they're able to win that fight, they should win the
Ionic's
game.
in trouble. Going to be slowed there. Gets hit by the web, taunted right back in, but the heal's keeping him fresh. Samshrew actually forced up onto the infinite web there. Not sure why he was so willing to throw that ultimate away. Did not need to use that yet.
Bakasura backdoor.
And bot side, looks like it wasn't even really a backdoor. He kind of just walked right down the lane.
Well, he used his minions there. He used Regurgitate.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, too.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Those are regular minions.
Was he tanking the tower for that? It looked like his minions
No,
were outside.
he
I guess
had
he
a
must have pushed them
minion
in. Okay. Yeah, no, I thought he used the ultimate there. But Tier 1 does fall on the left side as Hercules continues to push the front line for Cognitive Red. The split push was successful for the moment, at least for the
Cyclone
chunks.
Spin
But
ulting.
it could turn around here.
He has baited Gars away. The mid camp was taken down here. Oh, but Snoopy gets that big damage off again.
Ionic putting out his ultimate as well. Aurora and Herwin both quite low. Aurora will heal up a bit off the turret, now trying to make his way out. Driving strike actually misses from Divios there. And he's going to live.
Where is
Thor
the
backside! Oh, he got both of them!
Oh, don't let
Yikes.
What?
Why would you recall there?
That, and why do we keep letting him have this character? Like, it's not a joke.
Well, he's going to take some damage from the Bacchusarmians here, but they're not going to be able to close this.
No, he's not.
Well, he's going to just turn this one right back around.
He's actually not going to take
unique.
any
They
damage.
forgot about the Shifter Shield and Fire Giant buff. That's like 110 damage.
Yeah, it actually is exactly 110 damage.
Your
and
boy got math.
He blew them up free. This is... I don't know how many times we have to say it before people start taking us seriously. Like, it's not a joke. And now Devios, Meditation in hand, Fire Giant buff, Mitigate Wounds, will do this Phoenix and literally take no damage for it.
He's going to be all right.
Oh,
Sovereignty
Samshrew
is there as well. Samshrew.
Oh, almost got pulled. Oh, actually, what? Devios. And Meditation. Don't know what he's doing. Doesn't really matter. Samshrew couldn't kill him even inside. He just walked into the fountain and got stunned in there for funsies.
Little BM from the young man.
The second youngest player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Samshrew. They were having a young kids fight in the pool.
Fight him at
It
land.
was the kiddie pool fight.
Hey, I get
Hey,
it.
all
Nice
right.
job, Brandon.
Thank you.
Hey, that's why you make the big bucks, right?
Mediocre dollars.
Well, Cognitive Red does pick up a victory in a bizarre turn of events over the Chunks. Actually, really entertaining game, and actually,
that was awesome.
like, does that just work?
Herwind outdamaged Unique. And yeah, that's a guaranteed first seed.
Yeah, number 1 overall in North America for Cognitive Red off of the back of that win. So, round of applause for them. Samshrew actually showing us perhaps the best Arachne we've seen. Weekends yesterday was pretty strong.
Weekend was god.
Actually, he did carry that game, and well, and that's kind of the deal with Arachne, right? You gotta win in like 30 minutes, but if you do, oh man, you win.
Pretty nasty. But we talk about Samshrew, you got to talk about Gars, man. The jungle was a little strange at first, but he caught back up, not quite top damage to Snoopy, but he put up a respectable 18k at 849, and we're going to show you just how he ended
here. I
this
mean,
game.
look at this. 2 10% HP targets recalling behind their tier 2 tower.
Hit him with the
Yeah, I mean, he's just like,
LMAO.
I mean, look at this. He's like, oh, well, they're going to recall, and then, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I
Thanks.
love kills, actually. Thank you. I mean, that was basically them saying, like...
And then look at this. This is where they think they have him. He even misses the stun. So watch. I think the beats is what
He's
going
to beats 3, and he's going to get a stun back up. Look at the left side of the screen there where it shows his cooldowns. Gets everything back off. Comes back around. Domination at Gars. I mean, recalling at that point, you're basically betting against Gars.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, that's
Sure,
a
hope
bet
he's
you
not here.
lose all the time because he has lost 2 games in the Smite Pro League and has shown to be pretty much the undisputed best thrower in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no one is doing things with this god. Raffer, the only one that comes to mind, but Raffer, as we mentioned all the time, doesn't bring the whole game.
He's a time bomb.
That's right. He doesn't bring that full game like you get out of Gars.
They could start a team fight at 9:58 and then get 2 kills, and then 10 minutes would hit, and Raffer would be like, "Oh no!" And just like fall away.
But that does it for game number 1, guys. Cog Red does beat out the Chunks and do take the number 1 overall seed. Moving over to our second game this evening, it will be Cognitive Prime going up against Thirst. We'll see if the Thirst boys will give us a show as well. Can they find a final win here in the Smite Pro League? Cognitive Prime has to win out to keep their seed above Dig. We'll see how it all goes down in just a few minutes, guys. That's going to do it for us here for game number 1. We'll see you for game number 2.